Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to McGillicuddy's Pub, where we have three brain-damaged Irishmen who sit around and discuss different topics that we really don't know anything about. But we're going to pontificate. We're going to enjoy doing what we do, which is kind of just talking shit.
Pretty much. That's all we do, I think. We're pretty good at that.
Kurt, how was your week?
That's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you do this week?
Well, you gonna introduce us or what?
This is my brother Kurt. This is my other brother Dave.
There you go.
And they're a couple of assholes.
That's right. Pretty much.
So,
I mean, no, man, I had a good week. It was good, yeah. For Annie, I made her a garden for Mother's Day.
really?
Yeah. The whole entire front of the house is all prettied up.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Anything to draw attention away from your face.
Yeah. That ain't no shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was hard work, but I got her. It was 42 bags of rock.
42?
42 fucking bags of rock.
Damn.
It was actually pretty cheap. They're on sale.
What kind of rock?
River rock.
River
Yeah,
rock.
buddy.
I need to do some work around the front of my house
Yeah, you could get it done.
because it's in rough shape. So,
Just set a date.
But you, Dave, what's new in your world, man?
Oh, nothing much. Just surviving.
Yeah.
Got some flowers for the wife for Mother's Day.
There you
Got an
go.
empty nest out here.
My daughter moved out last
Oh,
Thursday.
man. That's big.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't like it.
It took a little bit of getting used to myself, man. I have two adult daughters and myself, and man,
It's like every step like that makes her more and more her boyfriends, and I don't like it. It's my daughter.
Well, the kids are gone. It's like it's so quiet in the house,
Right.
must have done something right though, because
She's
flying.
pretty good.
The baby bird is flying.
She's a pretty
Yeah,
good
she's
kid.
got a good guy. I will say that. He is a good guy. He treats her well.
She learned it all from her mom, though.
Damn. Looks like her mama, but she's got her daddy's attitude
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man.
and
Yeah.
temper.
Well, so I suppose we should, discuss the purpose of the show. Each month, this is a monthly podcast when we can get together. We choose just one topic that we find interesting, and we discuss it ad nauseum.
Just riff on it. Yeah.
So this week we have decided that with the current political climate being what it is, we wanted to discuss the apocalypse.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
What are you thinking me for?
Yeah, shit.
So
I told you I didn't vote.
That's part of the problem.
we thought, what better topic than to discuss the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah. Yeah. That ain't no shit.
And what we would do, So I think, when we're talking about this, you think about there's different kinds of apocalypse.
Yeah, well, I mean, but before the show, we were talking about biological, right? So,
We were. Which is, in my opinion, probably the most beautiful of it. Because if you survive a biological apocalypse, it's kind of
Everything's still intact.
right.
yeah.
Will Smith's I Am Legend, you'd be lonely as hell.
Yeah.
But
Keep my fucking wife's name out your mouth.
you're gonna be, talking to volleyballs like
Oh my god.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
But if you could find somebody to spend that with, and it might make it kind of rewarding to have the world at your fingertips.
Yeah. I think we might.
Ferrari.
We might make it. Jesus, dude.
I'll edit that out later, maybe.
This fucking.
What would you do, Dave? What would you do in a biological? Like, let's say
Start from the beginning.
95% of the population has died horrific death.
Start from the beginning.
There's cadavers
Oh,
littering the streets.
Dang.
Um,
Freaking Genghis Khan.
what are you going to do? You going to stay in the city? You going to move to the country? Are you going to
First thing I'm going to
find
do
a
is I'm
penthouse?
going to try to make contact with my son.
Okay.
See if he's still alive.
Okay.
And my
That's
grandson.
respectable.
You know,
Let's say you have no family.
no
It's
family
just
at all.
you
God damn, dude.
and your thoughts.
That's some
What are you gonna
heavy
do?
shit.
What's the first thing you do?
Set up shop in Sam's Club.
Because let's say, biological is not going to be instantaneous.
Actually, the first thing I'd probably do is go to a gun shop or a pawn shop.
Okay. Okay.
Stock
sense.
up because I don't know who else survived or what their intentions are going to be.
All right. Now let's say this. Okay. So you go to the gun shop, right? Are there other people there doing the same thing you're doing? Are they going to be aggressive? Are you going to be aggressive?
Buddy, you've known me for a long time. Now, am I going to be aggressive or not?
Well, I think if you come in, packing and you're already ready to rock and roll, I don't think a gun store is where you want to be aggressive if they're already stocking up in there. You're probably going to
Yeah,
be like,
but
hey,
there's
guys.
going to be a lot of people
There's
that
gonna
are
be-
going there
It's going to be panic.
that don't know how to use a firearm.
Maybe.
They may not know how to use a firearm. And I think in a situation like that, you don't only have to stock up on firearms, you have to stock up on like archery,
Interesting.
knives, melee
Okay.
weapons, and only use your firearms in a dire case emergency because it's limited supply on bullets. And unless you know how to make them
Okay.
or you have the supplies to make them,
Okay.
you're going to run out. You could always go and retrieve your arrows
Yeah, but
But
what
you
if,
could go to another township, go to another place. I mean, there's
and hope
in-
it's
in-
not been looted already.
Well, in a biological, and we're talking 95% of the public,
you
people
also
are gone.
you also might know somebody that's got guns? Could you go to their house? You think they're alive?
I don't know.
Because I know somebody that's got guns. I'm going to their house because we're tight.
And hope you don't get shot.
No, I'm not going to get shot because we're tight.
The end of the world does strange things to
Yeah.
people.
Well, I mean, this guy, we talk about this stuff all the time. And
So you already have a plan in place.
I have a plan in place, bud. You bet your ass. So,
Well, and, going back to biological, it's going to be little by little. I think when it first starts,
And of course, I'm going
It's
to
gonna
check
be
in on you guys.
pandemonium.
guys
You're going
do.
to see people
there it is.
running wild, looting stores already,
It's panic, yeah.
going nuts,
Like the LA riots.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to kill everybody just instantaneous like a nuclear would.
Well, do the math. I mean, if you have 1,000 people and 95% of them die,
Okay.
that leaves 50 people, 950 people
Yeah.
that are dead.
Yeah.
That's 50 people
I
in
didn't
an
know
area
you're-
the size of St. Joseph.
I didn't know you were good at math.
I'm not. That's an easy number. But that leaves 50 people.
Yeah. And you're one of those 50.
Yeah,
So the population of St. Joe is what, 70,000?
86.
Okay, 86,000. Okay. So,
So,
were you talking like 7,000 people are alive?
yeah,
No,
and most,
Yeah, a little,
not
Not
even.
even.
little less than
Because if
that.
you're talking
Yeah.
86,000, half of 86
Is
is 43. So you're talking 4,300 people.
Yeah. Holy shit. Well, there you go. There's a lot of supplies for you, bud.
But that's at 5% survive.
and a lot of those people aren't going to stick around. They're going to grab and go. Why would you stay in the city?
Because it's familiarity.
Well, not only that, but go to a big old fat mansion.
And also,
Live there.
you know your town inside and out, right?
Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people have family out of town.
Okay.
And are the phones still working? Do we still have internet?
I think it'd work for a while.
Everything would be working for a while. Because
For a while.
It's just people getting
I
sick.
mean,
and
you'd
out.
have to
Until the
figure out
bill
in the
comes
infrastructure
due and nobody,
after a while.
no way of reinstating your bill. So you have at least a month of phone service.
Yeah. Well, do your best you can with that month, right?
Right.
I think you're going to lose electricity first.
Oh yeah.
No, because that's all automated.
Yeah, but you're going to run out of resources.
Yeah.
Because don't they burn coal for electricity?
Not in Iowa. Iowa, most of theirs are wind farms.
All right. Well,
If you guys ever go to Iowa, try to count.
Try and stay away from Iowa.
that's fucking Iowa, dude.
Nothing
try to
but
count
corn
the
and
winter.
Slipknot.
I think I want to go to Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Oh my god.
But there are so many wind farms up there. That's what most of their energy is.
Well, so maybe you could survive off that for a little bit, you know. Well, look, Mark, what would you do then?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
If, you know, I'm going to simplify this, and I'm going to say that, like, I wake up
Okay. Start from the beginning. Okay.
and everybody's dead. Like, maybe the aliens dropped this, thing, and it killed 95%. I just wake up and I'm the only one alive.
Okay. Let me ask you this: when would that emotional gravity hit you that everyone you know is dead?
Immediately.
Yeah. And how?
Like,
I mean,
immediately.
and that's going to affect your decision making, right?
Well, I mean,
The hardest part for all of us, and I think we'll all agree with this, is if we wake up and all our kids are gone.
Yeah. Easily.
I'd be
Oh yeah.
done. Couldn't do it.
I don't.
Couldn't.
I mean, Bart, you have what, 5?
That I know of.
Bart's got 2. I have 2,
Yeah.
and a grandson.
And you have to.
Well,
Yeah.
and
Tanner and Lexi.
let's be honest. Like Annie and I don't know what I'd do without her. You know,
Yeah,
that's a
Missy.
huge blow to me. It
I didn't
is.
know about your personal.
Well, oh goodness.
Well,
the immediate
okay,
family
so
would have an immediate
Let's
effect.
stay on track here. You'd wake up and
omitting the family dynamic.
Okay.
Let's just say that I didn't have any family.
keep emotion out of it.
I was pretty much a loner to begin with.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if I had a family and they were all gone, I would gladly go to meet my maker after that, and I would have no problems.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's true.
Hypothetically speaking, if I was just this dude, I would fucking make the world my playground. No, I would go, find an ultralight airplane, and I'd take off and just fly around.
Are
Or
you a pilot?
Then you'd be the 96.
who cares?
Is it
Be the
If I
96%.
kill myself, who cares?
is it like the Matrix where you're like, I'll download a pilot?
Well, an ultralight, it's got to be kind of like just, a stick. It's
Okay, well,
just
This is from the guy that played Top Gun at the
acceleration and
arcade.
lift.
You're gonna die in a plane when you come down.
Maybe.
Well, then it's over. The fun's over.
Yeah, but you don't know. I mean, you just never know.
That's coming from the guy that played Afterburner at the arcade back in the 80s.
Yeah. And fucking Galaga.
Hey man, I still got Gallagher.
That's right. NBA Jam.
But I think it'd be fun to explore things. I think it'd be fun to drive a Ferrari. I'd go over to the park and find one of these high-priced vehicles and jump in that sunbuck and drive around. The novelty you probably wear off pretty fast.
Well, I find it interesting because Dave went to immediately defensively explaining himself, and now you're saying you're going to have a party.
Well, I mean, if I was by myself and I didn't miss anybody,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. That's true.
I feel like I would probably try and get out there and find other people.
Yeah.
Especially of the opposite sex.
Well, of course,
because
you're going to have that need. But
imagine spending eternity with that.
oh my god.
Hey, holy shit, dude. I'd kill
I'm just
myself
saying,
if he's Dave's running down the street. Buddy! Oh, Dave, is that Elvis? Oh,
You
God.
can't do that because you didn't go get a gun first.
Well, that happened.
Yeah.
So, trying to figure out how to kill myself with pudding. Somehow. Just figure it out.
Box cutter.
Yeah.
You asshole.
Kill myself with a spoon.
What?
Toaster in the tub.
Oh my god.
Put it in my eye socket. And just,
What was that? What was that? Hostile? That they did that?
I don't
Oh
remember
my
seeing
god.
that.
That's a terrible way to go, bud.
Okay. Down to the end of the table.
Okay.
What would you do?
Okay. Well, we'll start from the beginning. I would probably go to my friend Jeff's house. Okay, so we're
So
saying.
Jeff's dead, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm raiding his house.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's got, a fucking, what do you call that, bunker?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that. And then,
Raiding his porn stash.
well, yeah, of course. Of course. I gotta have something, man.
That's right.
Jesus Christ, man.
Until the electricity runs out.
My hand's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Use your mind.
Well, I mean, I definitely have to have a gun. And I definitely have to have a source of supplies, food, water, things like that. And I would get all that situated first.
Question.
Yeah.
What's your go-to food?
My
Because
go-to
everything
food.
you
Okay.
just grab whatever you want off the
Yeah.
shelves. So
Yeah.
are you grabbing a box of Twinkies? Are you
No.
I'm
grabbing-
having one hell of a barbecue just for myself.
Well,
I mean, you would definitely want to go for the fresh food first.
Sure. Yeah, because it's going to be dead here soon. It's going to
already
go bad.
dead, but,
well,
you know.
it's going to go bad.
Here's what
That's what I'm saying.
beef
Sam's
jerky,
Club.
brother.
Well, here's what I would do.
Get some beef jerky.
But they have dehydrators at Sam's Club.
Now, here's what you're thinking too.
I'm thinking long term.
No, yeah,
Yeah, but then you
no,
can go
no.
out and shoot Bambi and make
Okay,
beer jerky.
But you're saying everybody's dead.
Mm-hmm.
That 95% of the. I'm picking up some quick shit to where I can move. I'm getting out of here.
You're getting out of
Oh yeah, I'm getting out of.
you're
Joe-
getting out of
I'm
Missouri.
getting out of Joetown.
Why would you want to get out of Missouri?
Misery loves company.
This place is great.
No, I'm getting out. You know what I mean? I'm probably going somewhere I can fish.
You
Somewhere I
can fish in Missouri,
No, you think I want to eat bass all the fucking time?
maybe.
Catfish.
Jesus Christ.
What are you gonna do? Go to Florida?
I'm gonna
Black
go,
marlin?
no, I'm gonna go to Maine.
Maine.
I'm gonna go to Maine.
Get some lobster?
Yep,
Do you know how to catch lobster?
I do.
Or are you going to have to Google it on your way up?
No,
He just
there.
walks and then wiggles his toe
No.
until one of them grabs
You guys are fucking assholes.
it.
He does have a
You're just realizing that.
No,
He does have a good point though. Up in the northeastern part of the country,
Yeah.
there is a lot of
Well,
great
hang-
game and
let me
fish.
cook. All right, I'm going up to Maine. All right, lobster. I'm eating fucking good, right? Fresh seafood, salmon, that kind of thing, right? And I'm be setting up in a cabin probably where I'm chopping my own wood, having fires. You know what I mean? I got this figured out.
Are you staying there during the winter?
Well, if I'm the only one within thousands of miles, why would I do that? I could just pick up and go. Right? Why not be a nomad?
You know, I
I'm-
hear
I'm a-
I hear the fall in Maine is something to behold.
That would be pretty
I'm
good.
thinking about gas pumps. Traveling from.
Yeah, but Trump said he was going to bring the price down.
Oh,
So
shit.
Hey, that's a different discussion for a different podcast. You said we weren't doing that tonight.
Don't you know this is Joe Biden's economy?
you know what?
This is a
We could all
fall.
fucking
This
go
is-
and live in Trump's tower.
This is fucking Joe
Take a
Biden's economy.
big old greasy dump in a gold toilet. That's what I'm going to do.
Would you? Okay,
That's what I'm
so
going to do. I'm going to go take a dump in a Trump's toilet.
would you? Okay, so you have like in video games and stuff, like you can decorate your place. Would you decorate your place?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think, anything that's aesthetically pleasing to me.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
I mean,
Money's no object because,
you can just go grab it.
Because
Yeah,
money's no
you
object.
Do what you want.
I think that could pass the time a little bit. But, I mean, the loneliness might start to set in, right?
And I mean, you can go down to the Home Depot, and there might still be.
Would you seek out other people? That's the question.
No.
Not even.
Yeah.
Not even
You
a
won't?
female.
Really?
Yeah.
What about a dog?
Oh
A
yeah.
hamster?
Yeah, any animal, I think. I think any animal that I can.
He can have Dante. Dante survive.
Oh, hell yeah. Dante's as big as I am, man.
Doesn't need you. Well, why would you want a big old dog? You'd have to feed it.
What do you mean? I need a.
You'd have to go and feed the damn thing, man. That means more resources.
The more people you add, the more fucking bullshit that happens. And I'm just saying, I'm sticking it with a companion, and I'm chilling. That's what I'm doing. You might think that's out of left field or whatever for me, but that's real, man. I'll be chilling by myself. I'll be, alone.
You know, that's the other thing. You know, you laughed at me when I said ultralight. But if you took
Yeah.
a vantage point from up high,
Oh yeah,
you might actually be able to see somebody else roaming around out there.
yeah,
Be like, oh, there's a person.
yeah.
Hey!
Well, if they have a community, right?
And then they'll shoot you.
Yeah, maybe.
But, you know,
They want their plane.
it might be fun.
They,
But you would not, like, try and signal anybody. You would, you know,
no,
grab, like, a spotlight.
no,
Just
not
like arrows or something.
no, not if I could sustain myself.
But
I wouldn't.
that signal.
No, I wouldn't. Not if I could sustain myself. I wouldn't.
So you would
I
not
don't
want to
blame
bring
you on
people to you.
No, I mean, if I was never close with anybody to begin with,
Because you'd be afraid that they would want to take your resources.
yeah, that's right. They want what I want, or want what I have, right?
Yeah.
But it stands to, would I be aggressive if they came on my property?
You've never been an aggressive guy to start with, but
No,
you know, if we're talking the end of the world, what are you willing to do?
I'm willing to shoot somebody.
Okay.
I'm willing to marry them because that's right.
Okay. So, but you're talking purely defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to seek out other people and raid.
Well,
Depends on how low the resources are getting.
Well, that's
Okay.
That's the whole
so
thing.
let's change,
trajectory.
the scenario here, shall we say? We'll go from biological, which I think we can all agree is probably the lightest,
The
and,
least. Yeah.
you know, least bleak of the scenarios.
Like you said, 95% of the odds.
Well, I mean, you know, but you're the survivor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we'll go to nuclear, which is also,
Okay.
you know, highly likely, well, I won't say likely, but like feasible.
Yeah, it is definitely feasible.
Let's say that, you know, Xi Jinping tells Donald Trump that he has a tiny penis, and you know, Trump pushes the button,
And he gets upset. Yeah.
and mutually assured destruction occurs.
Yeah.
Global.
Yeah.
Boom. Which, by the way, I don't know if you boys knew this or not, but we're very close to a nuclear conflict over in the east.
We are.
In Asia. Did you know that?
Nope.
We are.
Pakistan and India are fighting
Yep.
right now,
It's not good.
and they're both nuclear armed. And
Okay, so let's use that as
they are part of the nuclear pact, the mutually assured destruction. So if any one of those countries shoots a nuke, everybody shoots a nuke, and that's like, we're fucked.
Well,
You know?
So yeah, let's start there. So then,
So let's say,
They
you know,
think common sense would prevail in a situation like that.
common sense isn't as common as we'd like to think anymore.
I didn't think you had me, Dave.
I used to rent it out, and somebody forgot to bring it back like a late movie to Blockbuster.
All right, bombs are falling.
Okay.
What are you doing? Like, are you going out there with a beer and you're just
Fucking
like,
running,
I want to
dude.
get a
What
good
the fuck?
tan? Are you fucking just saying I'm checking out right now?
Running, that's terrifying.
You're gonna run away from a nuclear blast.
Well, I'm gonna probably. Well, you're saying, are we saying we're surviving it?
Well, I mean, let's start from ground zero.
Okay.
Like, you know,
Well, I'm getting in my
you are outside raking leaves. You know, you're out there with the kids. They're throwing football. You know, life is good. Next thing you know, big old flash of light, and you're like, "What was that?"
Yeah,
And then a mushroom cloud appears.
yeah. Like the Fallout
Yeah, boom.
show. You seen that?
What are you doing? Like, are you just gonna sit there and watch this shit and
No.
then be like, "Well,
No.
it it was fun.
I'm gonna try to grab my family and
Yeah.
get in my car and go. That's
Where?
That's
You're not going
well,
to outrun that.
No, but that's the best option I have, right? Isn't that
I mean-
that's the best option I have in the moment is to get in my car and go.
Maybe.
It is. Where am I going to run away?
Well, I mean, I don't know what you've got as far as
Well, I don't have a fucking.
bunker or storm shelter or something
have a
like that.
fucking
It might
helicopter.
raise your house completely level, and you might be able to survive underneath there. Now,
I don't know.
we'll see about fallout, but
It's a pretty old house.
And it's 2-story.
Yeah.
it might be easier to,
Yeah.
pause that shit. Who knows?
I'm hugging my family and
Yeah.
kissing my ass goodbye.
I'm still thinking that I get in the car and drive away.
Okay, where you driving to?
As far as I can go. As far as I can go. Well, you're talking like this is happening right now, and I have to make a decision right now. I'm getting in the car and I'm going.
Yeah,
You're
but
asking
how many
me
other
where-
people are going to be thinking the exact same thought that you have,
Yeah.
and it's going to be complete and total gridlock?
I'm a good driver. I'm gonna drive right through there.
What do you think? You have a monster truck? That's a Kia.
I got the best shot of getting out of the city.
You do?
Yep.
You do
Because
have
your
the,
highway access, you
you
mean?
got the highway
Mhm.
right there. Yeah.
I jump on 229, hit 36, and head west.
Where are you going?
Away from any big city. That's going to be a primary target.
Makes sense.
Okay.
But I think Wyoming has a lot of nukes, and they would probably target
Kansas,
like
Kansas
Wyoming.
does too.
Yeah. So the Midwest is the Midwest is not an option then.
Any big city is not an option.
Well, of course.
I've always heard that the northward migration theory is probably the best thing you can do in a nuclear holocaust. And, going towards, mountains, going northward towards, Maine and Canada and all that stuff. And
But even
honestly,
if that's the case, I can jump on 229 and hit I-29. It's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And I won't have any problems till I get to Council Bluffs.
No, you'll have problems because there'll be traffic. You're gonna have to think about that.
okay. So the bombs have stopped falling. Everything's on fire. Everything's jacked.
Okay.
What's your first thing you're going to do? You going to just sleep in the car? Are you going to try and find some shelter? You going to try and find food first? Maybe
Yeah.
sleep in a, apple market.
Well, I'm just
Survive on olive salad for
I'm gonna try to just find safety at the moment, right? Because what else is gonna be going through my mind other than what's left? Where can I go that will be safe? And I think what you said about the northern migration, I think that's a good idea. And again, here I am saying Maine, right?
Maine.
Here I am saying Maine again. Or just
The rain in
some-
Maine falls mainly in the plain.
at least somewhere with mountain ranges where I can be high enough.
Oh, believe me, I'm going to be high.
I,
I'm going to raid a dispensary on my way to Maine.
I have to. This,
Because I'm going to have to spend the apocalypse.
I mean, you're talking. It might be a couple days.
Messed up.
A couple days of you trying to get to safety. So, are you raiding a pharmacy? What are you doing? Are you getting?
That's a great idea.
You know what I mean? Are
Yeah,
you?
that's probably
I don't. I'd have to.
decision.
I would have to.
Yeah.
Antibiotics would be a massive.
Antibiotics, and then in
You
case
could use that for currency too, for trade. If you happen to come across somebody who's got food, you can be like, "Hey,
Yeah,
get
exactly.
flex,"
trade. Yeah, I'm talking like I'm thinking more like if you're gonna have to be up a couple days, you're gonna have to be focused on what you're doing.
Mhm.
I'm not, I would never condone this, but you might have to take some uppers. Let's be real here. The end of the world
What do you
happened.
mean condone it?
I'm not. Just because my position on drugs.
I get that,
Yeah.
but it's the end of the fucking world.
Right. I'm talking like here.
Well, I mean,
And in this scenario,
Yeah.
if we're getting out,
Yeah.
our families are getting out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, unfortunately, contacting everybody may not be be a possibility because
I think-
he's going to take out the cell phone.
I think
Well,
what
would
you
you
might
do?
want to do is I would probably try and find an RV dealership. No, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want a massive one because
Yeah.
gas is probably going to be hard to come with. But like, if you
Yeah.
could get a smallish one that has a decent sized bed, maybe you could all sleep. on
Or
the
you
same
could
bed
steal.
or
You
whatever.
could steal a truck with a camper.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
something that's mobile but you can live in
Okay.
and
That,
drive to.
that also begs the question: are you going to be stealing?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I don't draw the line at stealing.
Yeah, I would be too. 100%. 100%, dude. I'd be raiding.
Do you take Visa or MasterCard?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Which
Because there's a difference from what we talked
So-
about earlier, right? You're saying earlier it was all alone. No, I have my family now. Now I have them to protect as
right.
well.
So
Yeah.
So we're talking about a family. So now where
So
do you
I'm-
draw your ethical line? Do
My-
you you were willing to kill defensively before?
And I still am with my family.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's anybody
But
out there that wouldn't.
Let's say
Okay.
let's say you look down into the eyes of your son and he hasn't had a bite to eat in 3 days. You come over the next hill.
Yeah.
There's another family down there
Okay.
and they've got a package of hot dogs
Oh man.
and some buns and some potato salad that they've scored from the local deli. And you have the drop on them.
Okay.
What do you do? Do you say, hey, give me your shit?
No.
Or do you say, give me half?
No. I think
What do you do?
I could use some diplomacy to try to get some.
What if
You
they
see,
tell
you
no?
see a gun on the man's hip.
Okay.
What if they tell you no?
I still. Well, hang on. One question at a time. The man has a gun on his hip. I still think you could use some diplomacy to get half.
Okay, but he's telling you there's no way you're taking food out of my family's mouth.
Okay. Well,
What are you gonna do?
I would probably regroup with Andy to see what she's capable of. Because I'm gonna,
So
I'm gonna
let's-
have to have
Andy's
some help.
scary.
Let's say
I'm
you've
gonna
got the
have to have
drop
some
on them.
help.
You've got them
Okay.
dead to rights. You've drawn down on these people because
Yep.
you didn't know who they were, what they were.
Okay. But they don't know
See
I'm
their
there.
resources.
They don't know I'm there.
They do now.
Well, okay, so I got the drop on them, first of all. Let's
Yeah.
start there, okay? I'm holding them up.
But he's telling you he's not giving it.
Okay, well, he's got no fucking choice.
He goes for his gun.
Okay, well, I'm gonna fucking shoot his hand and take his gun.
You're that good of a shot. You're going to be able to shoot somebody's hand.
I might be. It depends on what we. So you're saying I got the drop on him. Am I close
Right.
to them?
Let's say you're 30 feet away.
Okay.
That's a hard shot.
That is not getting the drop on somebody in my turn.
If you've got,
Yeah.
drawn on them already,
I'm probably gonna fucking miss.
you could.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah, but that's just beside the point of am I taking the shot at all, first of all. I'm gonna be aiming it at him to try to, well, maybe not aim it at him, but
I'd be aiming.
both of us got our pistols, right?
But you have yours in your hand and you've drawn it.
Okay.
You have it leveled at him.
Okay.
And you don't even know if the wife was packing. She could have like a little
Yeah.
heater in her bra or something.
Yeah. All right. The morality of that. I'm shooting him. You say in 3 days my son hasn't eaten. I'm shooting him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, got that.
And then
What are you doing with the rest of that family?
I'm sorry if the wife pulls. I'm shooting her too.
Well, then what do you do with kids?
Guess they come with us.
Beat them.
Yeah.
Do you trust them?
No, of course not.
So what are you gonna do? Tie them up?
No.
Sell
Well, you say that, but when you're out like
Yeah.
deep into the Holocaust, like we're
Holy shit.
months, maybe even years into it.
Okay.
You know,
Is that where we're at right now? when we're talking.
Okay, you know,
are we?
not right this second. But what I'm saying is, you know, he laughs about that. But like, you know, we're talking, you know,
There will be
5 years
there will
worth of
be-
nuclear winter, right?
There will be people trade. Yeah, there will be.
You know, and then you're gonna have to try and figure out what you're gonna eat.
So I mean, are we just going to become kingpins then?
Well,
Yeah.
you got to figure out what exactly you're willing to do here. You know, are you?
Yeah, I'm willing to murder for my family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus of
Yeah.
the whole board here.
And then you got to try and figure out how you're going to continue to
Survive.
yes. So you got to find things that you can trade.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find things that people want.
We talked about, you know, what resources, right? You're going to need, are you going to need precious metals like iron and things like that? Are you going to need, obviously, food, water? Those are very, very
Basic.
Well, those are very valuable, in my opinion. That, you know, especially if they're
Clothing.
maybe.
Yeah. I mean,
You got to have some kind of protection.
It's already
armor.
And I'm not talking about just
It's already
because you're
a
going to
gun.
end up losing, you know, or running out of ammunition eventually.
That's what I said.
And the ammunition that you do have, you're probably going to want to try and conserve to
so-
shoot animals that do exist.
So we've already said that we've murdered these people. I'm taking their clothes. I'm taking, you know,
right. Yeah. Make you be a fool not to.
yeah. I mean, it's tough to talk about these things, but that's the gravity of the situation. You know.
Let's say you haven't eaten in a week.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm like slow moving then.
I'm not even talking
Jesus
to him.
Christ.
I'm
Let's
just
say
shooting.
okay, your whole family is starving.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's been since you've had a meal, but you know you've all been sharing a Cliff Bar for the past week.
Cliff bars suck.
Right. Well, you know they might
Yeah.
be ambrosia of the gods after a week.
Beggars can't be choosers.
This is true.
Yeah.
You come across, you know, some people in the woods, no resources.
They don't have any resources.
Neither one of you do.
Then what the fuck's the point of that?
But you come across them, and firefight ensues. You kill them.
Okay.
Okay. So
Keep going.
He's going to ask you if you'd eat him.
do you cut a leg off?
No. No.
Really?
No.
You say that now, but those starving people up
See,
on that
I don't-
icy mountain did.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know.
Would you?
Well, see, that's the thing is, I don't know that I would go hunting them. But if the opportunity presented itself, like in that scenario where, you know, I came, face to face with somebody and I had to fight for my life and I killed them, they're already dead. My
Well-
family is starving.
It's difficult for me to say because I'm of some sane mind right now. But in the moment, I would have to, you know, all those feelings of everything, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, they call us long pig for a reason.
I'm exhausted. I'm hungry. I don't know where I'm going to get my next meal. In the moment, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would.
You guys remember the story about the plane crash on the mountain? And they were all.
Yeah, it's a Donner Party.
And they.
Or no, the Chilean or Argentinian soccer team where they had to eat each
Yeah,
other.
where they had to.
There was also that group of girls that played basketball.
Yeah,
That all of them.
yeah, and they were all of sane mind
Yeah.
before they went up there, but
Sure.
they were up there for like a week, and they were all starving.
Sure.
And people would, perish.
You know, they didn't kill them, but
They did.
they sure as hell ate them.
Yeah, they murdered each other for sure.
I don't think they had to. I think the cold would have done that for them.
Yeah.
Or the crash. Died of injuries. But here's the thing about this whole thing with somebody like me.
Would you eat them?
Yes,
Yeah, without question.
without question.
Okay.
But the thing with me is,
Well, you're a big boy.
I would have to go to a pharmacy first before I left anywhere.
Well,
I would have to.
Yeah.
I have insulin that I got to take.
You'd be hosed, bro.
Yeah, I'd be
You
fucked.
you wouldn't be able to make it.
Yeah.
I'd have to hit every pharmacy all the time to make it.
You have to be real careful, but you can do it.
Well, okay, so that same firefight, let's say you killed everybody except for one person who gave themselves up.
Okay.
Do you let that person go, knowing that you just killed a bunch of their family and everything, and they might want to kill you later?
No, I'd let them be with their family.
You would kill him too.
Yep.
You'd end him right there.
Yep. You have to.
Would you though?
You can't trust him. Well,
Okay.
I just had a giant firefight. I'm already in the mode of shooting.
Okay.
I'm shooting him.
There's no threat if they're dead.
Well,
And
that's true.
He's going to betray you along the way
The
somewhere.
first chance he gets.
Yep.
Maybe
No.
there's gonna be human trafficking
Mm,
going on.
But if he's starving, that's another mouth you got to feed.
That's
and
right.
You just said that we had.
Yeah, but you don't have to feed him that much.
No, he's dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
No, he's dead.
Is it a guy or is it a girl?
Oh man,
That's a legit question.
I don't know about all that.
And as a father of 5 daughters, I don't think I could. I don't know, man. I don't see because I would have a way softer heart on a woman than I would a man.
Yeah.
I would be able to shackle a man, sell him to somebody,
And be fine with it.
and be okay with that before killing him in cold blood.
I think I would save her from herself from being, destroyed. Like, who
Right.
knows what would happen to her?
Yeah.
Well, no, if you're talking about a woman,
Yeah.
that would be a different story because for me, I would probably want to. I guess the softy in me
That's fine.
would want to try and protect,
I'm still.
and that would probably be ultimately my downfall because she'd slit my throat.
I'd still shoot her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think between me and Bart, any of our daughters, except for the 2 little ones, of course, they don't know what's going on. But our daughters, if somebody killed us, they're going to kill them. First chance they get.
Oh, of course. I think
Yeah.
so. But you're talking about if it's a woman instead, I'd still shoot her.
You'll shoot.
That would be the most humane thing to do.
Because I don't want her to go through any kind of rape, any kind of slavery, rape, any of that, right?
Right.
So
God, that's
so we're traveling.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm still shooting her, dude. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm leaving that behind. That's
I don't want to shoot you.
dark. Oof.
You-
So we're traveling. Okay. Would you,
Is Disneyland still in one piece?
dude? That would be. I mean,
Yeah.
that goes back to biological. Wouldn't
Well-
you want to go to like World of Fun or Disneyland and just
Dude.
like walk through?
dude, the
You'd have to walk through because you wouldn't have
Wouldn't that
anybody
be
to operate
cool?
the rides.
Universal in Japan. Dude, that place is crazy.
Well, and that brings me to what I was going to bring
Okay.
up just
Yeah,
now. Is
okay.
okay. So we're traveling, and you say Maine all the time.
Yeah.
You go to the coast,
Yep.
right?
You have to.
And you're a yacht.
Yeah,
Get yourself a big fat ass boat.
I can see that, but
And-
you're going to have to worry about fuel.
Well, no, I mean if you can get like a sail boat,
Oh,
and
okay.
learn how to sail. I mean, I don't know.
They still have motors.
You're going to have to stock up supplies for
Yeah,
days.
but they say that places like Iceland are relatively isolated and
Yeah.
might be habitable.
Well, let's talk about this, right? So you're saying nuclear holocaust.
And then you could fish for food.
hang on a sec.
And I doubt that the fish are going to be as irradiated as everything else.
Yeah, hang on a sec though. You're talking about nuclear holocaust.
Right.
Who knows what kind of weather that's going to bring?
Well, I mean, we know that there's going to be nuclear
Now
winter.
you're going to be out in the water. how easy is it for you to just die from fucking crazy waves or weather
Or the sun.
you're taking
Well-
you're taking a chance every time you go out there.
You're taking a chance doing anything.
Yeah, but
But, you know,
I think you're taking more of a chance if you're out there in the open water.
if you get a big enough boat, shit, maybe you could
I've
fucking
seen
find one of those big ass.
Cargo ships.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you're saying bigger's better here because I've seen
No?
waves crack things completely in half. You know,
That you got to think those big old container ships are all
yeah.
remotely driven by satellite.
So
Well, I don't know.
They are.
I don't know if that's true.
They are.
Where
They.
you getting your news from?
They are. They have satellite ships that
They
got the minimal.
they got fucking Trump satellites up there.
They have.
Oh my god.
They have captains, first mate, and a
They got-
skeleton crew on.
They
them.
got
That's all
fucking
that's on them.
Elon Musk running all the ships.
What?
Oh my god. Okay, so you're out in the water. Where are you going?
I mean, Iceland. You know,
Okay.
I think is probably
All right.
it's close.
in the middle of everywhere.
I don't know where I'm going.
No.
So
Have you guys seen that movie Greenland?
No.
There's this movie called Greenland, and it's almost exactly what we're talking about here, where a storm is wiping out the population, and only certain people get selected, and they're flying them to Greenland because the fallout is not supposed to be as bad from this asteroid or this meteor that it's coming to hit the planet.
So do
You guys need to check it out. It's called Greenland. It's a great movie.
Okay. So are we on the same? Are we saying we're doing the same thing if a natural disaster occurs,
like what?
like a giant asteroid, like he said?
If a giant asteroid hits, most of the
We're probably dead.
yeah,
right?
it's gonna
Yeah.
kill us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
Okay.
know,
So what? But what if? Well, okay, we'll say it doesn't, and it wipes out. Half of the hemisphere up top.
mhm. Well, you're still going to have enough dust that's thrown up into the atmosphere
Yeah.
that it's going to throw us into a winter, and then we're not going to be able to grow anything. All the herbivores are going to die. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Fishing would probably be about the only thing you'd have left.
Well, there you go.
It's not scurvy because you didn't have no vitamin C. Like Waterworld. You know,
Oh, Waterworld.
Waterworld, I feel, is like one of the most underrated films.
I like the movie.
That movie's
The
terrible.
premise of it was fantastic.
Yeah, but you was young whenever that movie came out. They
You
don't
know?
count.
How many movies have like that kind of a,
Vision.
yeah, I mean, like The Matrix was genius. But Waterworld, people dog on that movie, and yeah, the acting wasn't great, but
Saying it's on par with the Matrix right now.
for the time,
Oh my goodness.
when did it come out? Like 1962?
Oh my god.
Kidding. It was an 80s movie.
No, it wasn't.
Was it?
No.
Waterworld?
No, it was a 90s movie.
I bet it was 89.
No, it was a
1989.
Yeah, look it up. It was a 90s movie.
Dave, Waterworld. Dave's my bitch. He does whatever I tell him to do.
I was doing it before you even asked.
He's giving me a handy right.
That's the information guy gave us.
Yeah, because he's always on his phone.
Yeah.
1995.
Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
Glock 28.
I was already out of the service by then. That movie, that.
Because it was terrible.
I mean, the concept.
Swing and a miss. That's what it was.
Swing and a miss.
It was a big fucking swing, too. A big swing. Just like Battlefield Earth. Wasn't it a big swing?
Matrix came out
Biological.
4 years later.
What's that?
Matrix came out 4 years later.
Yeah, well, Matrix changed the entire landscape of how people fight on movies and everything.
So we've gone over biological. We've gone over nuclear.
Okay.
You go back
Let's do
to
it, fine.
biological.
Let's do a fun one.
And, this could be fantastical, but I don't discount anything anymore, recently they said they unearthed 14 novel viruses in Siberia. And they don't know if they're virulent or not. They don't know if they are dangerous.
So you're saying we unearthed viruses?
Yes.
Why? The human curiosity is going to kill us.
But what we haven't gone over is zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We already got zombies in St. Joe.
So,
Damn, dude.
well,
Damn.
I feel like you're, using drugs as a
Golly.
vehicle there,
Yeah.
vector,
Sheesh.
which is not really that far fetched, honestly. Because
A
there's,
biological zombie.
well, there are, drugs out there that can turn people into,
Yeah.
like bath salts
Well,
for
so
a while there.
we could classify it like is it the Last of Us? Is it 28 Days Later? Is it The
Well,
Walking Dead?
okay, so
Is
The
it
Last of Us
Yeah.
is
an interesting one?
interesting because
Yeah.
it's fungal,
Mm-hmm.
And there
It is.
actually is a fungus
And
that
it is.
does bring ants back
Right.
to life.
It is classified as
it doesn't bring
biological.
them back to life, but what
But
it does is it
animates their
uses
body.
yeah,
Well, that would be biological too.
right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
Okay.
have you heard that the rabies virus
Yeah.
is one mutation away from going airborne?
Well, that's great.
So if that were to occur, it could theoretically turn people into your 28 days later type zombies.
A rage zombie.
Yeah.
It could.
Good thing about those, though, is they have the normal way of killing them. You can shoot them in the chest. You can
Yeah,
shoot
that's
them
true.
in the head.
Yeah, they're still just they're fleshy people. Yeah. So
What are you doing in a zombie apocalypse, Kurt?
holy shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so if they're fast, I'm fucking dead.
You're not
You're
the
a
only
smoker.
one, brother.
I'm fucking dead, brother. That's what I am. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I do survive somehow. Somehow. Obviously, I'm gonna arm myself.
Right.
And what are we talking about here? We're talking about what kind of scope are we talking about here? We talking about like
It's global.
okay. Yeah, so how am I not susceptible to it?
You haven't been bitten.
Okay, but it's an airborne.
Now, we'll get away from the airborne just because,
Okay.
that's
We'll just say being bitten changes you.
yeah, because we're gonna say that
Okay.
I don't know, the airborne virus has mutated again and it's no longer airborne.
Let me just preface
This
this.
has to be transmitted via saliva.
Let me just preface what I'm going to say with every single movie and show where people get bit and then they hide it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If I find out I'm shooting them because they're going to turn and kill me anyway.
Mhm.
How many people in those communities are bit and then they hide it and then they wind up killing like 5-6 people? I'm shooting their ass.
Right?
I'm so sick of shows doing that. Like,
But what if it's Annie?
I'm letting her bite me. Fuck it. See?
That's your game now.
You're gonna be, all right, baby.
I gotta get it from somewhere. You know what I mean?
That was a hard one.
Yeah.
That wasn't a fair question.
Yeah. Well, you hit me with it. I'll give you the truth. I'd probably go down with her.
Yeah.
That's the cold hard truth. Is I'd probably go down with her. The worst part about this is are my kids left alone then? Like that's the worst part.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I love you, my dear, but if our kids are at stake,
I'm shooting you.
yeah,
As tough as that's gonna be.
someone's got to take care of the kids.
Are you letting the kids watch?
No.
Jesus Christ, man.
That got dark.
That's some dark shit.
I know, right?
You want-
So what are you doing then? The zombie apocalypse. Are you staying in city? And
No, I would need to have to educate myself on exactly how they operate. Because what if I get bombarded by a bunch of them? I can't survive that. There's no way. They'll bust in my house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have to have a plan and understand how they work.
I'd go nomadic.
Well, I think you would have to.
I think that
You couldn't stay in
you
one
would have.
place.
I think you could.
I don't know.
I think you could. I feel like if you're talking about a zombie apocalypse, you would have to then take yourself to a place that was designed to keep people in.
And
Oh.
this is a
So
this is a fast moving zombie or a slow
I don't
moving?
care at this point. I'm going to like an abandoned prison,
Yeah.
Alcatraz,
Yeah.
Sam's
something
Club.
where. Well, did you say Sam's Club?
Couldn't
Yeah,
you go?
Sam's Club.
You couldn't get in. You wouldn't have your card.
Could you go to a hospital?
Oh, but it wouldn't be that secure.
Could it though? Because they have lockdowns, don't they?
But they're all electronic, and if there's no,
Where do you think they're going to take the infected
But I
people
mean,
before they
you know,
turn?
Okay, that's true too. I'd be dead.
so he's got a point.
Well, I've already been dead like 3 times.
I would try and find a mental hospital, like something that has, big
Your
barbed
parents' house.
wire,
Yeah.
beat him to death with a 12-inch
Barbed wire bat. My God.
Lucille.
Yeah,
Lucille, but-
Well,
Walking Dead.
if you were to find access to a prison, if it was abandoned or
Okay. So are you letting people in?
I mean, I think you would have to clean up.
Yeah.
I think you would have to make it into.
How many is too many?
2.
Well,
You and Mrs. You probably
I
kill each
think-
other.
you would have to keep. You'd have to find a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to do some farming.
Yeah.
And people are going to have to go out. There's
Yeah.
going to have to be people that are going to have to go out and look for supplies, look for things. But you're going to have to farm.
Yeah.
You're going to have to can. You're going to have to figure that out.
Maybe
You know,
hunt. Yeah.
food is going to be scarce. And
Stay
don't-
away from military bases.
Are you saying they'll gun you down? Or you're saying,
I'm saying that's where everybody's going to go, and there's going to be infected people there.
okay, well they're gonna have so
And most military bases have a little bar for a gate at the beginning, at the opening of the
movie.
base, and anybody could walk in it if it's not guarded.
well that's the thing also. Is
Yeah.
like, the
If
people that-
Eagles, man. I
well-
think what you need to do is round them all up, deport their ass to CCOT.
Oh, wasn't it Alcatraz? I think so. I think it was Alcatraz.
You guys are jumping episodes.
Yeah.
Send them to El Salvador.
Yeah.
All the zombies.
Okay, so hang on a sec. Could you survive on Alcatraz?
Well, that's the thing.
Interesting.
It doesn't have fresh water, is the problem.
Yeah.
Which makes Trump's idea of reopening Alcatraz
But-
a really stupid idea.
Would you just go to Iceland again? Fuck it.
Well,
Yeah.
on the zombie thing, I'm not sure Iceland would be a great idea, but maybe Gitmo?
Oh.
You could go down there, the
Yeah.
climate's okay.
Yeah, you could grow
Good
shit there.
cigars.
Yeah,
You
good-
know.
good soil. Yeah.
It's surrounded by water.
Mhm.
And
Good cigars.
Yeah. That's way in the future. You're chilling on your porch with a cigar. But,
or maybe you could find your own private island that's stocked with,
yeah.
or bring pigs, release them
Yeah.
onto the island so that they're become wild.
The problem with that is they like to destroy your fields if you had any, if they're not native to there, because there's no natural predators for them.
Well, you'd become the natural predator.
Yeah, well, they reproduce a lot.
That's great because you need to eat a lot of pork.
Oh, I am, bud.
I do like bacon.
Oh man,
Yes.
pork rinds, chicharrones.
Oh, man.
I'd have to raid the Slap Ya Mama.
Yeah.
That would be my first stop.
Okay.
Get some Slap Ya Mama on there. We're dying.
Now,
Sauce.
so your very first day, what's your weapon of choice?
my very first day,
Yeah,
I'm finding myself an AR platform rifle.
yeah, but I mean, is that you could actually find that here?
Yeah, you can
Real-
get it at
real
like
quick?
Bass Pro.
Okay.
You know, and of course that is if like there's not
Yeah.
a bunch of people like.
Okay. I'm talking.
See, that's what everybody makes a mistake. They think of Bass Pro, they think of Walmart, they think of all these big outfitter stores to go get your weapons. You have mom and pop stores,
Yeah.
firearms, A1 Gun
Not
Runners,
everybody knows
Brothers
where
in
that
Arms,
is.
Well,
Brothers in Arms. Almost
I wouldn't
every
be able to
small-
tell you where a gun shop is, right?
here's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're dead then.
Here's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not necessarily.
So here's what I'm saying. Like you said, you wake up. What's the very first thing you grab? When you find out,
my
like,
dick.
oh, Jesus Christ, man.
You asked.
Well, all right. Yeah, that's pretty fair. I did ask. I'm saying, like, you find out it's a zombie apocalypse. What's the first weapon you're grabbing in your house? It has to be something.
Okay.
Because you're gonna have to protect yourself.
Bat.
In this house,
Yeah, you're gonna have to get out.
I'd get a bat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd get a bat. I'd get the sturdiest knife that I could find that I feel like would have most penetrative power.
Penetration. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that depends on
maybe
what
even
kind-
just a screwdriver, like a Phillips head screwdriver. You know, a long one,
Yeah.
right in the eye, chunk.
that depends on the zombie.
Yep.
Is it a disease zombie or is it a eat your brain slow moving zombie that you have to hit in the head or hit in the brain to kill it
Oh,
or put it down?
if it's a slow moving
Well, I
one.
don't think it really matters. I mean, you're gonna have to defend yourself regardless.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to want to use a screwdriver on a fast moving zombie. You're going to want to use a bat.
What if you miss?
Huh?
What if you miss?
You're dead anyway. Whether it's fast or slow, if you
Man,
miss.
I told you if it's a fast one, I'm fucking dead. Easy. Then I don't have to worry about any of the questions you're asking me.
Well, if it's a fast one, I think I'm gonna go up the tree.
You're going to shit when one of them runs up there after you.
Well, I mean, if a zombie can climb, that would be
They can.
pretty advanced.
They just start stacking on top of each other.
That's true.
So then what are you going to do in the tree? What are you going to do then?
Well, if I had a knife,
Kisses, that's
would I have a
what-
knife?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd climb up to a safe height.
Yeah, but you're putting yourself.
You're cornering
Yeah, you're
yourself.
cornering
Okay,
yourself.
but
You
what
need
I'm
to-
saying is I climb up to a safe height. I'd get a branch, break it off, sharpen it into a stick, and then stabby stabby.
Okay.
Stabby.
Well, I mean, you better do that quick.
Well, you know. My dad always told me I was a fast whittler. What?
Nothing. Jesus Christ.
All right. Good God, is that you? Dude, you're killing me over here. Something's dead inside of you.
Yeah. He's been blowing it up. He has been.
You were in the car with him on the
Like,
way down
no,
here.
he didn't do it in the car. He goes to that pizza, bud.
My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof. So,
Again, though, you're going up in a tree. You're going to have to work quick with your branch work here. Because if they're the fast ones, they're stacking on top of each other. I mean, okay, so have you seen World War Z?
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, man, it's like, bam. And
But they're fast movings.
they're on your ass.
Yeah. I don't think I'm surviving that.
No, me neither.
No.
You know, I think at that point I am finding an airplane
Yeah.
and I'm either going to fly it or I'm going to turn myself into a grease spot on the side.
Yep. Pretty much.
I don't think it's that hard to fly an airplane. Did you remember seeing that one guy who stole an airplane and did a loop-de-loop and actually pulled it off and then crashed it into a mountain?
Yeah, I remember that.
He didn't know how to fly. He had a flight simulator at home.
But it's also all about, like, well, what airplane do you find? You know, you can't just exactly.
I think you'd have to get like a smaller one, like like a Cessna or something like
You'd
that.
have to get lucky
Like
and find
like
it.
a little Piper, little prop.
I guarantee you're not going to find the one you want. That's how that shit
Well,
works.
I haven't been shopping for them, so I don't know what I want.
Well, if you're talking about the
But if
guy,
I come across a fucking little airplane in the downtown airport, and it's got a full tank of gas, and I got, the Johnny McMunch zombie on my ass that, trying to climb the fence, I'm going to get in and I'm going to try and turn it over.
Yeah.
I'm going to see what I can do. I'd be like, okay, let's
I don't think
try and get this son of a bitch off the ground. I'll follow the goddamn river, I guess, just for navigation purposes. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll follow I-70 into the mountains.
Okay.
Because it's straight.
Yeah.
And if you run out of gas, you could land it because it's
And hopefully you don't land it in a
straight.
swarm of zombies.
Well, you probably more likely land it into farmland because all the highway is going to be clogged with cars.
Yeah, it will be.
But getting yourself
A yacht.
I think I think honestly that's probably a wise decision regardless.
Boat. Yeah.
Boat.
Head to Maine.
Well,
Get up there.
Man.
You have a
That's what I'm
virtually
saying.
endless supply of food if you can fish at all.
That's what I'm saying. Head to Maine, dude. Can you tell I'm going to go
This
to Maine?
this episode has just turned into one
Big advertisement.
tourist
for Maine.
Yeah.
advertisement for Maine.
Well, come on, let's go.
Or Iceland.
Yeah.
Iceland, where
It's
I
also-
hear it's 3 women to each man.
It's also become a dark fucking Jesus.
Well, we're talking about
Yeah.
the end of the world. It's not going to be all
Mhm.
roses and sunshine.
I know.
And look at this.
And all the episodes are not going to be this dark, we promise.
They're not. Sometimes they're going to be darker.
We'll just say we all made it. That's fine.
Good God, if I had to spend eternity with the two of these guys.
Whatever. Same goes to you, bud.
We wouldn't want to spend the rest of eternity with me. I'm a sweet guy.
Could you imagine spending the rest of eternity with Mom? Oh my
Oof.
God.
Oh.
I love you, Mom. You could garden, fellas.
I got you.
And make things look pretty.
Oh my God.
Get those little precious moments figurines and just ring the house with them.
I think we should get a curio cabinet in here.
Zombies
You know what?
hanging
You
on the
haven't-
front door.
You haven't polished the head of that warlord that you
haven't cleaned your baseboards.
It's gathering a lot of dust on his
Yeah.
lower mandible.
That's exactly what happened.
You think?
Yeah.
I think she would turn
The
into
fucking savage.
I mean, good God, it would be Mad Max, and Mom would be leading the savages into Bartertown.
She'd
Yeah.
be Tina Turner.
She'd be like
She'd
throwing
be,
erasers at people's heads.
she'd be a warlord.
You don't think?
I don't know what she'd do. She's strong, that's for sure.
Who runs Bartertown?
She'd be the old woman that always greets you into town.
She'd be the little midget on the top of
Oh
some
my
big
God.
dude. She'd be like, riding him around.
Jesus Christ. On top of Dwayne The Rock Johnson was.
But she would pray for you before she killed you.
Yes, she would, yeah.
Yeah.
Glory to God.
And afterwards.
I'll light a candle for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Mom. I'm not. Oh, my goodness. Well, have we done enough damage here?
I think it's been pretty good.
Pretty damaging.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think we've shot our shot here, and we've discussed enough about these dark matters. Next time, we'll try not to bore you with such mundane details.
And it won't be this disgusting next time. Jesus.
No, it'll be more.
It'll be bad.
Maybe. But it won't be about death and you know.
You just never know what we're going to talk about. So,
Okay, well let's
if you have topics that you want
yeah.
three idiots who honestly don't have a clue about anything, let us know.
Drop it in
Put
the
it
comments.
in the comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
And tell us what you think. You know, say, hey, I'd like to know what your thoughts are on red number 5. And I'll say it's delicious, and I think we should have more of it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know, I don't know. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
I think it's been great, man. I appreciate you coming on, Dave. I
Thanks.
think it's been great.
Yep.
You know, you gonna come next time? You think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
What?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, buddies.
Tune in next week, or not next week, next month. And we'll have another show. We'll have another topic. And we'll try and make it a little bit smoother, a little bit more interesting. And hopefully you guys will tune in. And the sea
Yeah, we're
chickens,
not
man.
talking about the sea turkeys.
Good Lord. All right, guys.
Good night.
Good night.